full-time working adult is what everyone is always asking, right? So, from being in school, being in NTU EEE, attending lectures, interacting with the professors, and also doing projects, to working in a company, making decisions which will impact the business of the company. So NTU EEE provide us with a safe environment where we are encouraged to make decisions, make mistakes, and even take risks in the school, right? And the transition to a working adult means making decisions that will actually create an impact to the business, the cost and the service to the business. So I believe NTU EEE actually gives us these opportunities and also the experience that we have in the school that allow us to be more well prepared in the working society.
Okay, so I understand that you have gotten a scholarship midway through your degree program. Would you like to tell us more about this scholarship?
So in terms of mid-term scholarship, right, NTU EEE does provide us with a lot of opportunities for talks, and also NTU EEE collaborates with a lot of companies, as you can have been said by Jin Shen from EDB, where we have all the...
And the answer is yes. And is my business in importing construction workers? The answer is no. So what we intend to do is really build up a voice system to allow for automation in payments and accounting. So this involves an area of artificial intelligence, speech recognition in particular. And for the life of me, I am having a lot of difficulty in getting datasets in Bengali. So it's very strange because English is very well trained. A lot of other languages has a lot of datasets, but Bengali doesn't exist. So my very naive self coming out IBM thought, that should be very simple. So in reality, a startup life is a lot more challenging than things are. Yeah. So from corporate to startup, how many of you want to be in the corporate life after you guys graduate? Startup? One guy? Okay. And the rest of you just want to stay here for the free food, drinks? Oh, okay, that's good. So we understand the audience a bit better, so we know how to cater this kind of for you.
Okay, good. So how would you explain the spirit of entrepreneurship in yourself, and what advices do you have for the students here?
Okay. In terms of, say, corporate careers, most of the time when people look at my CV, they see like, hey, brands like GE or AMD or IBM, these are all big brand names. But at the end of the day, it's not really your own company. It's not you. Whatever you do, it drives the bottom line for a shareholder. And for you to even buy a share is probably like 10% of your pay, which doesn't quite make sense. So coming out is huge risk. Most of the time I've been in Singapore for 20 years. I think the risk appetite here is not as high as some other countries. But at the same time, if you take high risk, there's also a chance of high returns. And the even better part is when you take high risk, you might do something good for society, like Wan Ching was saying. So imagine for the fact that if the company that I have in Bangladesh is able to alleviate poverty by say 5%, then in my lifetime, I've done something that has improved the life of other people. And that's something I look forward to.
Thank you, Sage. So I believe that you mentioned that the opportunity in NTU is vast and you are appreciative of the opportunity.
Learning artificial intelligence. So you are not going to study all such courses. So the first 2 years will give you some idea about which so-called area that you will focus your study in your third and final years. So by the time you reach third years, and you should have a very good idea of what you can start. You look at our peers, you may face the customer problem, logistic problem, or even the speech automation, this recognition problem, and you will be able to come up with an idea to solve this kind of challenging problems. And that is actually how I see EEE is differentiating from the computer science and other programs.
I just want to add one more important comment to that, and I think that we do that also, like Professor Han has already explained. It's actually interesting to note that today, And I'll share you a little bit with you a little bit from the company's perspective because of all my involvement with companies and on boards and stuff like that. There are actually a lot of these companies today that we have seen, even traditional companies like Rolls-Royce, and I'll explain why I call Rolls-Royce a traditional company. Rolls-Royce started as a mechanical engineering company, okay? Because they make mechanical parts like old cars and so on, right? And today, so you see how now that the changing technology going forward, something that we're not even sure how the future is going to be like 4 years from now or 10 years from now, is actually changing the way traditional business operate. And what it means is that you got to tie that back to the training of the students themselves. If you do not, it is always a conglomeration, an integration of both software and hardware. Software alone does not make a system. Okay, you need the electronics that work with the software like the Deep Blue, IBM Great Big Machine, the chest plate machine, and the tower flight. It's more than how much fuel they have to carry, the fuel the fuel they're carrying plus the weight of these great big jet engines is actually a very big deal. So the heavier the engine is, okay, the more fuel that they have to carry in order to propel that aircraft on a 13-hour flight from Singapore to London. So what is now reshaping the entire aerospace industry and incidentally also the marine industry is that they are now going more electronics. So it's actually more electronic engine, more electric engines. Don't take it from me, Google that. Rolls-Royce, all this information is actually available in YouTube. They're all in public domain. It's more electronic engines today because by miniaturizing using electronics, that can reduce the weight of those gigantic aircraft engines. And that's the way from that they can